Okay, hello friends, this is Yusuf here. Welcome to part 2 of our JavaScript tutorial. So in this video, we are going to learn about data types, operators, control flow statements, and looping statements. So basically, if you take any programming language, so these are actually essential. But we're going to see like what is special in JavaScript and maybe how we're going to use it. Okay, so I just prepared a quick list of summary, but we'll go through one by one during the process. Okay, first let's start with the data types. Okay, so under the data types, there is a concept of primitive data types and also objects. Okay, two things. So we'll talk about objects in the later part of the video, but when it comes to primitive data types, so these are all the 7 primitive data types. Okay, number, string, boolean, undefined, null, and then recently added like BigInt and symbols. So these two, like, we won't touch in this tutorial anyway. Like for a normal use case, we don't want that. Okay, let's understand these 5 data types and how we can use it. Okay, let's talk about number. So yeah, number is a very direct data type. Like, so let num1 equals to 5. So it's a number, so we can confirm using like the type of method function. Okay, yeah, it is number. Okay, but what is special in JavaScript with respect to numbers? Okay, so thing is actually there are some special indicators. So I mean, not indicators, I would say. I'll show you. Okay, so basically if I have calculation 1 by 0, then we will think it's an infinity, right? So there is a keyword called infinity that represents the number infinity itself. So which means if I say that it's not working. Okay, so say for example, if I say 100 is greater than infinity, okay, this is actually not true, so we get a false. So what I'm trying to say is the infinity itself represents the number infinity there. Okay, so if we give a minus, then it's a minus infinity. In this case it will become true because yeah, 100 is greater than minus infinity. Fine, but what I want to talk special is actually the another thing called NaN. So that's normally called not a number. Okay, so when you will encounter that when you are trying to do some calculation or manipulation that results in not a number. So just to give an example, if I want to do number 10, I want to subtract with maybe a text, okay, which is actually not a possible thing. So if you try that, you get a value NaN, which means not a number. Okay, so apart from that, yeah, so the numbers are very straightforward. Let's go to the next thing, which is the string. So a string can be represented in a single quotes, double quotes, or a template literal. Okay, so what does that mean? So if you say like string 1 is equals to hello, let string 2 is equals to double quotes hello, and let string 3 is equals to with this one I'll change it to world and backticks. So these backticks actually you can find in your keyboard below the escape key. Okay, so using which we can build a template literal. Okay, say for example I am Yusuf. Okay, but one advantage of template literal is we can substitute the variable names inside. Okay, so how we can do that? So say for example I have username is equals to Yusuf. Okay, so now I don't want this username name hard coded. Okay, I want dynamically come the username here. So syntax is the $sign and then the curly brace. So now you can supply the variable names. So just to confirm the result, let's print s1, s2, and s3. Okay, so the result, as you can see here, hello coming from s1, and then I print s3 2 times. Okay, so hello world and I'm Yusuf. So now you understood that yeah, actually when I save my file, the VS Code already converted everything double quotes, but in general single quotes is also a valid string representation. Okay, fine. So this one is important because we will be using like a template literal in many places. So that's like I would say make the string concatenation easier. Okay, if you don't have this, right, what we might have done, like using single quotes or double quotes, whatever, and then we'll do a plus sign to concatenate maybe the username variable like this. Okay, so this will also now result in the same output only. But if you have many strings to concatenate, then it will get some ugly and then it won't be readable. But with respect to that template literal thing, yeah, that's like a straightforward, yeah, you can see it easily, right? So yeah, that's with respect to the strings. We covered everything. So let's check other things like Boolean. Yeah, so Boolean is straightforward. So let me take everything out. Yeah, so if I say num1 is equals to true, then it's a Boolean value. So it's all lowercase. Okay, it's not like Python. The first letter of true is uppercase, not like that. So true or false. That's a Boolean value. So to confirm this, yeah, basically we can do the type of num1. It should say Boolean. Right. So then we talk about undefined. Okay, so there is a type called undefined. So when that will come, so basically now I'm going to take off this guy. I'm saying let num1. Okay, so in this case, if you see the result, the type is undefined. Okay, because when you declare a variable using let, the JavaScript doesn't know what it's going to be, right? So it will say undefined. Similarly, in few other cases, we'll get undefined. So you say, for example, I have an array of element 1, 2, 3, okay, and suddenly I say array of maybe the position 10. I am putting the value of 10. Okay. Now, what do you think when we try to display this array here? As you can see here, we got the number 1, 2, 3, and then there is an empty space, and then the 10 is there. Okay, so the length of array is actually until 10, but there are some empty values, right? So if I try to access one of the empty values, say array of 5, then we'll see undefined. Okay, so that's the thing. Yeah, so I think it's okay as of now. We can look further into these data types later. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is null. So null is also a data type. Okay, so say for example, if I give a value, I can assign it to null, then it will be like okay, type of null is object, that's different. Okay, so we don't go into null, but you think as of now null is actually one of the primitive value or data type that can come when we are working with JavaScript data types. Okay, fine. So let's go to the operators. So again, we don't want to spend much time on operators and everything, because yeah, it's like a common across all the programming languages. Like if you know already, yeah, no need to waste time. But let's talk some specific differences with respect to JavaScript. So here, yeah, plus, minus, asterisk, and divided by, you know already. So the percentage is used for the modulo, which is to get the reminders, and plus plus and minus minus is again the unary operators, which is used to increment and decrement variable lengths. Okay, so the logical lines are actually used like this. So double ampersand and double pipe character, so using which we can do the logical operations. So say for example, yeah, so if true and true, okay, then maybe console log good. So you will get good, because it's a logical AND, so both has to be true to make the evaluation true. So if you make anything to false, yeah, probably it will not run. It will say, yeah, it is not running. So if you have a else case, yeah, probably it will show yeah, bad. Yeah, so if I make this to double pipe, then it's OR character. So any one of the thing is true, then yeah, probably it's gonna run the good. Yeah, that's how it is. So that's about it. Now let's talk about the equality, right? So equality, okay, just to give an example, first of all, in many languages you would have seen double equals to is for the equality. So I have, like, say for example, let's take num1 is equals to 5, and then num2 is equals to 5. Okay, and then I'm console logging like num1 double equals to num2. So as we expect both the values are true, I mean the same, so we get the value true. That's normal. Okay, but if you make this as a string, okay, so I'm gonna say here like type of num1, type of what else, num2, and then comparison. Okay, so now it says that one is number, the num1 is number, then second is a string. Yeah, we know it's a string, but still it says the value is true. I mean, compare when you are comparing, it says both the same. That's because the traditional double equals to will check the value. If both are same, it will say it's true. Okay, but there is a special triple equals to sign that will validate not just the value, also it will validate the data types. Okay, so in this case it's a numbered string, so obviously it is not matching. That's why it says false. Okay, so if I maybe change this to string, then it will say true, or like both are proper numbers, yeah, then it will say true. So that is the double equals to versus triple equals to differences. Okay, cool. We have done this. Okay, let's go to the control flow. Yeah, so control flow very similar to the other languages. We have if else. We just saw many if else just now, so I'm not going through that. But what is interesting is actually the ternary operator. So let's have say for example age is equals to 22. So we have a condition something like if age is greater than or equals to 21, then we say is like major. Okay, else we say yeah, minor. Okay, this is a simple logic. It works based on the condition of this variable. Okay, now we can represent the whole thing into the single line using the ternary operator. So how? First we need to put the conditions, which is age greater than equals to 21. Then we have to use a question mark. So we are asking a question, okay, age is greater than 21 or not. If it is yes, then whatever we want to execute, we can type next. So we want the console log of major. Okay, but if it is not true, then what has to be done? We need to give that after the colon. Okay, which is console log of minor. So if you execute this, you get the same result. So we are representing like 1 2 3 4 5 lines of code into the single line. So it's a good practice. It's good code readability and then so on. But if you have many like nested if else, then it is not recommended to go with this method, because it will become non-readable. Then code will be looking so good, right? So that's about it. Then yeah, we have switch cases. So let me give you a quick syntax of how that will look. So say for example we have something like a color equals to blue, and then switch, and within switch you need to give the variable name what you are going to check. So we're going to check the color, and then parenthesis. So inside what are the options you're going to check. So for that you need to use a case, and then say I want to check for blue. Okay, then I need to console log, okay, got blue, say for example. Okay, and then I will do a break, because once I reach the matching, then I don't want to check further. Okay, something like that. So if it's a case maybe green, console log got green. Yeah, and also we have a default nothing matches. We say nothing matching. Okay, so if you run this, since we have blue, so we got blue. So if you say like blue 1, so we don't get any match, so nothing matching. So if you say green, yeah, we should got green. Okay, that is the syntax for switch statement. And let's look into the loops. So yeah, so we have majorly like for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Those are like traditional loops, and apart from that we have something called for in and for off. So let's see how that works. So let me, yeah, so let's have an array of element 1 2 3 4, yeah, whatever 4. So for loop is a very simple. So within for you will have a variable as a counter, so initialize it to, yeah, something, and then we need to have a condition. So here I'm saying that if I is less than or equals to, or no, don't want equals to, less than array dot length, then I plus plus. So here I'm doing that index actually, yeah, so here basically we are looping the array using the for loop, nothing big, nothing more fancy, but we can also loop the array using for off loop. Okay, so say for example for let I of AR. So this is the syntax. Okay, then we will get the value directly into the I variable. So here say yeah, so I'm printing the I value directly. Okay, so save. Yeah, now we got 1 2 3 4. So here we don't care about the indexes anymore, like yeah, we don't need to calculate the array length and then incrementing so on. So it is a yeah latest way of doing the array thing. Okay, so it's a for off method. Like that, there is a for in loop, yeah, that is used to iterate the objects. So we'll talk about arrays and objects and hash maps and everything in our next video. But just to give an example, so an object is simply it's not a primitive data type, so it will be, we can create an object using a curly brace. Okay, and then we can add properties to it. So say for example, I have like name, okay, and then age, something like that. Okay, then if you want to loop through this, so we can use a for in loop. So for so let key in object, and then I can just console log the key, and then if you want the value, so I can do like object of the key, so something like that. So it will come, yeah, so name and user. Okay, so just learn the syntax as of now. When we are doing some real world problem solving, we'll obviously work with arrays and objects more, so that time we'll know how these loops are like useful for us. Okay, yeah, so apart from that, yeah, while and do while loop is pretty much same like other like a syntax. So yeah, you have a while, then condition, okay, and then you will have some method, okay, and then inside you will do whatever you want. It works like that. Do while is similarly same, so we're not wasting time for that. Okay, so that is the topic which I want to cover in this video. It could be a bigger video, I don't know, but yeah, so we don't if you quickly pass through all these basic things, yeah, we can concentrate more on the actual JavaScript features, right? That's the main idea. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope it helps you guys. So if so, yeah, please share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.